Girls of Reddit, what was the best flirting technique someone did to you? Story 1. Met my husband through a random roommate's boyfriend. I had met him a few times at this point, and he spotted me unloading groceries from my car. He insisted on helping me carry everything in, and even just unloading everything onto the counters while asking about my day. It was incredibly easy to imagine dating him all of a sudden because I had a tiny glimpse into what my day-to-day could look like. Joke's on him though, I now refuse to carry groceries in on principle. Oh, how he rues the day. Story 2. When I was 10, I received a love letter from a boy. It contained a flower inside, and at the bottom of the letter he wrote some cheat codes for Mortal Kombat for me. He knew I was always playing that game on my Sega. Story 3. Wait right there. I promise that you and I will have the most interesting conversation in this bar. Story 4. I'm British, and I came over to the States on a temporary work visa to do one ski season with Vail Resorts. I was bartending at an on-mountain restaurant, and a couple of snowboarders come in and start talking to me. It came up that I was only there for the season. Then one of them says, "I'll marry you so you can stay, but we have to go on a date first." We just celebrated our 13-year anniversary, and I'm still in Colorado. Story 5. A man I worked with asked me for my phone number. We had already been working together for a few weeks, and a mutual attraction was evident. I pointed to the bulletin board behind him. It's on the wall there. I know, but I want you to give it to me. I don't think his intentions could have been more boldly nor charmingly stated. We moved in together 3 weeks later, and are still in love 25 years later. Story 6. He brought me a huge tub of my favorite ice cream flavor after hearing that I was having a bad day. Story 7. Hey, do you want to help me throw fruit at my friends? 16-year-old boy at summer camp, holding a bunch of oranges, who wanted to meet me. I was also 16 at the time. Story 8. I was in Chicago on business, got a horrible migraine, and had to cancel a meeting with a man I had met with for work the day before. I get really bad migraines, really bad. After it was over, I had to get a bit of food and something to drink, but it was very late, and there was no way I would survive any kind of car/cab ride. He was the only person I knew in town, so I sent him a text to see if he knew of anything in my area that would be safe open that late within walking distance. He drove 30 minutes across town in the middle of the night to walk me to a 24-hours restaurant and buy me dinner. I've been with him for 11 years now. Story 9. When my husband and I started dating, he would do this thing when he shifted gears in his shitty little Sentra. He would kind of brush the back of his hand on the outside of my thigh as he shifted. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like fireworks every time it happened. We were riding in that car when I realized I could spend the rest of my life riding shotgun with him. Story 10. The third time we hung out, I went to his house. We were both in grad school and were talking in his room, but I was exhausted from school and my 2 jobs. I was sitting on his bed and fell asleep. When I woke up, he had put a blanket on me and was playing beautifully on the piano. I was so embarrassed cause I had drooled all over his pillow and surprised that he was so kind about the drool and not creepy about me being passed out on his bed. We've been married for almost 4 years now and been together 8. Bonus fun fact, his brother didn't believe I existed and accused him of making it up till I met him a year later. I was his first real girlfriend at like 25. Story 11. A guy told me that he liked my shoes and asked where I'd gotten them. We were in a bowling alley. Story 12. My first boyfriend came into the store where I was working and just straight up told me he had seen me through the window and needed to run home to clean up/put on something nice so he could come back and ask me on a date. It was super endearing. Edit to add. He didn't wave me through the window lol, just saw me in passing and wanted to ask me out. This was well before dating apps where you basically had to ask in person. He was within my age range, nice smile, and just had a good energy. Also, his secondary flirting technique worked just as well. He brought me a book on our second date because I had mentioned in passing that I loved to read. He was good at making me feel heard. Story 13. We met at a Halloween house party, and when I was going to leave, he walked me to the room with all the coats, which also happened to be a kid's room, and he asked me what color crayon would you like to write your phone number with. I married him, celebrated 20 years. Story 14. First time I hung out at my current buff's house before we started dating. We were laying on the floor listening to records, and he turned to ask me what time it was. I think it was 4 if I remember. He then said, "Wow, you've been here 4 hours and I haven't kissed you yet." Still makes me smile, and needless to say, it worked very well. Story 15. I once had a guy walk up to me at a bar and said, "Hello, my name is Rob and I'll be hitting on you tonight. What can I get you to drink?" Silly, playful, and direct. We dated for about 8 months. This is a good note to end on. Please rate your stories in the comments. I'll be happy to add them to future videos. Also, you can rate our other videos. We would be very grateful. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.